you're a thin guy and all that. I want to be about right there with your wedge swing.
It's just, all it is doing is going to lead to less distance control and less accuracy, which that's what we want with these clubs.
Yeah.
So like right there, yes. And that way the club stays in front of you better.
Yeah, so what I mean by in front, okay? So when you transition and shallow the club, which means it lays down and gets a little flatter, when you do that, the club gets behind you more, right? Well, if your arms are back farther, it just gets the club that much further behind you. And what we're trying to do is get your trail arm back in front of your hip in this position. And if you get it way back there and you get out in front of it with your lower body, it's really hard to get the club face back to square unless you use your hands. So this is pretty good as far as getting the club back in front of you. You can see how you have a tendency. Watch how your lower body really goes fast here. See how your belt buckle's way in front of your arms there? Your belt buckle's here and your hands are here. Well, that's what I'm talking about. So I'd like to see your hands almost even with your belt buckle instead of this. You see the difference? If your hands are back here and your body's way in front, something's going to have to cause that timing issue to get the face square, and that something is usually your hands. So, and when you're playing well, and you can do anything wrong and still hit good shots. But when you're not playing well, and your timing's off a little bit, right? So. No. Just remember this, Christian. Face is 80% of direction. You can get fooled by the path, and it's really a face problem. I mean, in your case, you were pulling it with a face flip. That's all. So, yeah, your path's not the problem. See, in this transition here, see how his hands are back in front? And look where his belt is. See how his hands and his belt, there's not a separation as much. See how your hands are behind your right hip? See how his hands are closer to his right hip? That means he's getting his hands back in front of him before he starts spinning. And with a long swing, see, your arms have to go that much further, right? If you got your arms way back here and you start spinning, your arms have to travel a lot further to get back in front of you. That's all we're talking about. So for me, that just looks a little bit out of sync. That's all. No, it's not bad. It's just a little bit out of sync. Your arms just, one of the things, if you watch golf on TV, watch Justin Rose. He's always doing this move. He's always working on that. That's part of his pre-shot routine. And what he's trying to do is remember to get his arms down back in front of him, because he gets out in front too fast, the face is open, and then he's going to have to use his hands. So it's a very common mistake. Yeah, you can see this right here. As he finishes his shoulder turn, he's done right there pretty much. That's a big turn. All this is just excess arm swing. We call it arm runoff. Yeah. So, and part of that is because you're still growing, you're young and thin, and you're so supple that, you can just go back so far. And but yeah, we're just tweaking it a little bit. We're not changing much. We're going to get you to hit half shots. So when we go outside, you're going to keep your arms extended and feel like your left arm's parallel to the ground. Now, it really won't be there, but I want you to stop your swing when it's here, and then it'll be perfect. So we'll do that a second here. When you look at the tour players, I mean, I've got a lot of them on here. I rarely see a tour player with an iron swing that goes to horizontal these days. This guy's hitting a 7-iron. or an 8-iron here. But notice the big shoulder turn. He's got greater than 90 degrees of shoulder turn. You can see his right shoulder. You can't see my right shoulder when I swing. My right shoulder didn't get back that far. He's all the way back there. That's because he's, half my age and he's getting stretched and worked out every day. Whoops. So, yeah, that's where we're trying to go. I'm not trying to, per se, shorten your swing as much as I am just trying to feel like, it's in the right place through some trial and error in front of a mirror, just working on the feeling of a full turn. If the mirror's over there, you're just working on that. Just doing that every night for 10 to 15 minutes. Full shoulder turn. Keeping your arms out in front of you means to push your hands that direction, not that direction, that way, out that way. The more extension I have in my right arm, the easier it is to shorten the swing. So, for example, if I keep this arm from going like this, watch, if I go like this, the club gets real long. Yeah. But for right now, what I want you to do is look at where his hands are relative to his head. That's what keeping the club in front of you means. He's got some gap between the right side of his face and his hands. Look at you. You don't have any gap. Your hands are past the right side of your face. I would call that a 12 o'clock swing. He's at about 10 o'clock. Yeah, he's very long with his arm swing. He is. And he doesn't do that with his with any club but his driver. He keeps his arms a little shorter with the wedges. All right, enough said. I mean, even these lady golfers who notoriously have long swings, look at her. She's short horizontal. Yep. So, yeah, that's where we're going. Danny Lee. Little short of horizontal. Hideki. That's the top of his swing with an iron. That's at whistling straights. See that exit low and left. Right shoulder covers. Handle gets low and left. See where the shaft finishes? More this way, more horizontal or parallel to the ground. All right.